And yes, okay, good morning everybody, my name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann. And I'll press refresh on that screen in a minute. So, it's still July 3. I've completed all of the contracts last night from last week. That gave us a ton of money. Started July 3rd and I've already done about a few of the silage baling contracts. From all of the money we've got, we've still got £145,000 left. This was on sale for about 15,000, so I can't find a use for it, but we've got one, so we can now nip around and take a look at things, and I don't have to necessarily beam everywhere. And we got a 3-point hitch on the back, just in case I find something useful to do with it. Fortunately, it doesn't have enough weight to do much of anything. At the same time, simultaneously, there is a multi-roller in the corner there, which was also on sale in the store. So we got that too. And finally, our corn is coming on well. Our grass has another stage of growth left before we can mow it. I don't think I've got anything down at the store to pick up yet, but there is a rather nice tractor that is incredibly cheap for sale at the store. So I've also bought this field here. It was about 145,000. It was completely fallow. So what I've done is I've gone and put grass in it. It didn't need ploughed. Oh, I didn't check. Okay, I did forget to do a thing. Yes, indeed, I forgot to do a thing. It's only 5,000, that's good. It has okay soil. Now that should pH is lime. I think the lime is okay. We can compare that to 6.25, 6.5, 7.3. So I'm going to say, for the most part, it looks like the soil is adequate pH. It does, compared to this, need a little bit more fertilizer. Do that with the little green tractor, but for the most part, that is good. That's going to grow. We'll get that cut at least once, probably once around October time, along with our other grass fields. For a good bumper crop of grass, we've got 2 fields of maize, which should be ready to harvest soon. Oops. That's growth stage 4 or 5. So I think at 6 we can, at 5 we can forage that. So potentially next month. That'll be good. Because once they're ready to forage, we'll do that, and then I'll replant them as grass for a winter growth. Of course, we've got a grass field ahead of us. The 4 grass fields to the west, to the south of us, are still at 65% above typical land value. So not buying those right now. Oh, and the other thing we did, we sold the Valtra Q and bought a T. And I don't know how much that's going to cost to maintain right now. So, Deutz is there. So, our Valtra T, we got a new safety weight on the front in a nice fetching shade of green. It does have reverse drive, it's a power shift, so cheap gearbox. We do have the plastic fuel tank, which gives me the most capacity for fuel. What else is in here? Yeah, as I said, it's got the reverse drive. I'm not going to start the engine. Oh, we can jump inside and take a look, obviously. So we've got the levers rather than the buttons. Doesn't have a front loader. I now don't have a vehicle with a front loader. That may or may not become a problem. But I'm kind of liking this. It's got slightly less horsepower than our last one, which again should make it cheaper to maintain. We're basically looking at a tractor that we can use every day and is cheaper to maintain than the 3000 on the other one. I think part of that was it had GPS. This one does have GPS. It had reverse drive. They add 30,000 to the cost of the tractor before you start. But then I did change the wheels maybe twice. And that did create a big problem for us when it came to maintaining, because I think you pay for every single adder on the tractor. Front loader attacher is only 5,000, so it's not a lot, but that does add up when you're you're maintaining the tractor constantly and you're never using it. So my new philosophy is only add things onto the tractor that you absolutely need. Now, as a single starting tractor, the Valtra, we needed the front loader arms, we needed all of the other toys on it. Now we've got the Class, which is our heavy haulage tractor and field work tractor. We've got this thing, which is our precision field working tractor, so it has the crop sensors, but that's all. And then we have we just needed a tractor to run our mowers, and because we're looking at reverse drive and I like to use GPS on that, that's all I want on that tractor. It doesn't need big horsepower. It only needed 180 horsepower to run the mowers, and it only needs 180 horsepower to run the merge. So that is fine. I could really do with GPS on this, I think. And I'm not going to be able to see where I've been, so this is going to be fun. We're also struggling. If I look at the field now, let's go to there. Oh, we need to turn grass on briefly so we can see field states. And yes, I am erasing the needs rolled. So from now onwards, we will be able to roll our fields. This can also be fitted with mulching discs or mulching wheels and grass rolling wheels. Obviously, slight issue with grass rolling is it doesn't actually do anything with precision farming, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Good grief. We are churning up the dirt. So as I said, it would probably be a lot easier if I had GPS now on this tractor, or I was using a tractor that has GPS on it. Oops. Because the seeding here, it's not going to be easy to tell the difference between what's been seeded and what's been rolled. We're also kind of struggling. But we'll get this done. There is a liming contract. Now, liming. There is a larger mod spreader that does lime and solid fertilizer. Only costs 36,000, only has a capacity of 12,000. And my thoughts are, it's sort of a good option for this tractor, probably. Comes with narrow wheels, you can put wider wheels on it, but I'm not planning on that. Oh, there we go. Now I can see what's going on. So while the dirt's a little bit overwhelming, I think kind of doing okay. And I don't need to do an excellent job on this, it just needs to be fairly good. I think as soon as I zoomed out, it felt like the thing sped up a bit. I'm going to put us on, whoops, 3 times, there we go. So at least I can see where the roller is using the drone view. And I'll run around the field. We'll get it rolled. It gets rid of the needs rolled notification on the map view, which some people find annoying. I'm kind of, yeah, it's going to add 2.5% yield. Yeah, okay, that's nice. So, the implications of this field right now are basically, it's intended as an arable field. We're putting grass in when we can't plant anything else, and right now we can't plant anything else. We're going to get at least one growth out of this field of grass. The question is then, should I plant it with maize and forage it next year along with the other two? Or, and we can't plant maize till spring, so that'll give us grass in October, November, and grass in March before we need to worry about that. Hi. Okay. But we could go another year with maize silage, and then start looking at cereal crops the following year. It's that, or we're going to need to raise a lot of money this year just so that we can afford a decent harvester, or even a semi-decent harvester. Something we can cut cereal crops with. Now it becomes difficult. I think if I follow the straight, you can't even tell where the straight line is, even at this altitude. Okay. If I try and stick to the straight line, we should just be able to run adjacent a couple of times. I'm going to turn left here. And finish off this triangle. So of course the other thing we've got here is, if I'm going to fertilise this, I'm going to wait until the grass grows one stage before we head out with a fertiliser spreader. I can probably use the little fertiliser spreader that we already have, because that's perfectly sufficient for carrying enough fertiliser to fertilise any size grass field that we seem to have come across thus far. Now that might change if we buy bigger fields or more fields. I mean, I think that group of 4 next to the farm, our current fertiliser spreader should do it. The thing is grass doesn't need a lot of fertiliser. So the whole let's do fertiliser with it, it's like, yeah, we hardly use 10%. Now with arable fields, when we're doing corn and things like that, we do struggle with our spreader capacity. Hi. Oh.
Hi.
Did that hurt people's ears?
I don't know. I can refresh that now. I really can't tell where I've been here. This is somewhat annoying. Oh, actually, I think I can. I think I missed by about 10 feet. That's the problem. There's a very, very, very slight difference in texture between rolling and seeding. So I think I'm going to have to make a right turn in order to get this all tidied up. But this is a good size roller. I mean, I do like it because you can reconfigure it for all the things, not just for field rolling. And it costs the same amount as the regular field roller. You just need extra money to buy the mulching or grass rolling attachments. Okay, our tractor seems to be having a little bit more success with it now. So I did come across a YouTube video this week where someone was demoing the brand new Thrustmaster heavy equipment joystick, which has zillions of buttons on it. And I believe the guy who reviewed it was someone like FDR Logging, and he had a pair of them and was using it to pick up logs with a log picker upper thing. Very, very easy. You know, he could do with two of them. He was doing the two plane, you know, sort of grab, reach, lift, all the axes of movements that you have on a typical log crane. Probably also works well for a telehandler, where you have extend, you know, reach and lift, and then the actual head control. So that looks like a much better option than the old Logitech multi-panel. Now the side panel from Logitech, I do like it. It has a very small joystick, which means that it's fingertip control. And that's really nice for doing something like a front loader. This thing is a big hulking joystick. I don't know, is there one in the cab here? Yeah, I think the thing is, the one I have is sort of like that sort of size. Go there. This one. So it's fingertip control, not grab handle control. We don't really have a big giant joystick in this tractor. Anyway, let's get out and keep rolling. Whereas, you know, your standard joystick, you grab with your entire hand, and there's buttons on the back and buttons on the top, much like a flight stick. So, but it has a lot of buttons around the base. I'm not sure how I feel about that, or whether I need to go the old Disturbed Simulations route and get myself, you know, build myself a side panel which has multiple buttons that I can configure up. It's actually talking of switch panels and what have you. It's something that sort of I've got conflictions with. It would be really nice to have something like this where you've got switches and buttons that you can push a switch and a thing happens, or you can push a lever and things happen. Because the problem is when you jump back into another tractor, it's going to be reset to everything's at the 0 point, and you've got your throttle control set to 15% or whatever. It doesn't, you know, you kind of want the switches to reset when you switch vehicle, and they obviously being stuck, they do that. And it's something that I've also got an issue with for model railway. I would like to model a signal box with levers, small levers, to switch signals and points. The problem with that is I also want those to be computer controlled. So if a computer switches a point, now my lever is at the wrong position for the signal or the point that I now might want to switch, so everything would be reversed. And I can't see a simple way to allow toggles and levers to work on the same circuit. It would just mess things up. I don't even know if there is a way to do that. Okay, we are very close to this all being done. There we go. I think
Hi.
this stretch here is our last bit. Then we'll pull up the map and see where we're at.
Hello.
guessing there's a hill here. Yes, that's why we're struggling. Okay.
This really
That's really broken.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This can really bend, which I need a wood for my project I'm trying to make.
Oh.
So, if this comes off of it, I could use this. It looks like it might. It can wiggle.
We threw the rest of it away, but Kate didn't bother throwing that one out. Okay.
That's all you need to get me for my project.
Okay. Bye. Okay, let's see how we did. I think there's...
The video's gonna take a million years to end, so...
Okay. We need to do bits up there. There's some bits along that edge. Well, we didn't actually do too badly, all things considered. Now the question is can I see where I've been and not been? I think that's the long sliver. There's a couple of bits to my right.